Hi, I am with two intelligent people, and they do have a lot of common things apart from clearing a lot of exams, like 3, 4 exams. They cleared 3, 4 exams, and they do have a lot of differences. And we are here because they have a wonderful story to share with our students or audience who will watch. And I think you will learn a lot from their lifestyles, and you will learn a lot from the way they prepared, and especially the strategy they had, which that really blew my mind. They go against the popular opinion. They did a lot of things, and that's why they clear a lot of exams. Like they broke a lot of, myths and all those things. And they are friends. And I think you can introduce yourself, sir.
Okay. Hello, sir.
Hi.
My name is Safi. Like I have recently cleared SBI PO exams and waiting for the interview results. And I have also cleared the South Indian Bank and the IDBA exam.
Fine, sir.
I am Zuma. I also cleared SBA and waiting for the results of the interview. And I also cleared South Indian Bank and FCA, Food Corporation of India exams.
Fine. Like I learned that you just started preparing from January month.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So you're from same batch or what?
Yes,
We are from the same batch.
Okay, I hear that you formed a group as well.
Yeah, we formed a group within ourselves.
Wherein after basic classes and all, we formed a group in which we have 7 members and almost 7 of us are on the verge of getting a job and 2 of them has already got. So like our group has been effective.
Great. Actually, this is what we have been telling to our students. Form a group which which is very goal oriented, which has a common goal, and where you talk, share things only about that goal. And we've been telling this to our students: don't form a group with friends. Form a group with someone who is just like you. And it has worked for them because this is a similar story I've seen. We have been seeing the past 2, 3 years, like people from different different background, they come together, which is same goal, and they start to clear. Fine. And let's talk about like, and I learned that your marks in were not that good, right? You're like
We are pretty average guys.
your marks are around 65 percentage
65
in
almost.
college during
Yeah, only 65% during the college days.
65% during colleges. And right now you start, because I've seen students who got better marks, better percentage, but they struggle to get into jobs. Like they struggle to clear the exam. So how do you see things?
Getting better marks and in school colleges are completely different, and clearing a competitive exam is completely different thing. In school and colleges, you can just mug up things, take things, feed it in your brain, come next day, put it there, you get marks.
Right.
But in competitive exam, it's rather more than learning. It's more about persistence. You can't learn things in like say for a week or so. Like you learn and you keep on practicing, keep on practicing, keep on developing. That's also like it's more of persistence rather than just learning. You learn for the first 1 month, 2 months, you just learn. After learning, it's all about practice.
Practice.
So how much good you practice and how well you strategize things. Rather in school exams, you got a full 3 hours wherein you have got ample amount of time, you put it in the paper. But here it's not, it's just 1 hour and you have work which can be only done in 3 hours. So it's like managing things, strategies, time management, that which. So here it's all about practice, and strategy comes with practice, time management comes with practice. It's not the very first time you go, you get a clear cut view how to do and what to do. It all comes with practice.
Right. You start to clear after 6 exams, right?
Yeah, after almost failing in the 6 exams.
6 exams start to clear exams.
Yes.
Prelims, then mains, and right. So for the first exam, we used to tell this to our students as well. Like we are seeing students who give up after first 2, 3 exams. It doesn't work that way. You're supposed to give at least 6, 7 exams. You learn from each exam. You consider that each exam is real, and you work on that. Of course, failure can disturb us. We may lose our composure, but that's not the point. You learn from that. And okay, I just want to talk about the strategies, because you guys have wonderful, or what is it called? Like, you guys have freaky strategy. They watch Netflix, they play games, app games, and and when it comes to exam, they have different approach. Their strategy is really, really awesome. Let's talk about, we're not promoting Netflix, but don't overdo that. And when I say Netflix, and what do you watch in Netflix?
In Netflix, I watch only sitcoms. Not any TV series that has a long story and there is a suspense in every episode. That kind of TV shows I don't watch. I only watch sitcoms which have which has one story in one episode.
That's the, I mean, when we talk about sitcom, it means one story in each episode. It's not like a mega serial which continues after a
It will tend our mind. The disadvantage in watching mega series, it will tend our mind to watch episode after episode, and it will consume our time without knowing.
So can I say you just watch one episode per day, or?
Maybe one episode or maximum 2 episodes. I control myself because I know by watching continuously, I am wasting my time. I am watching basically sitcoms in order to soothe my mind, because in order to mind get tensed up. So in order to soothe my mind and in order to improve English, the common usage is there. It will help us in solving problems in the English section.
So what about you? What's your favorite?
See, talking about series and all, I used to watch more of a professional kind of, because watching a common genre would like lead me to use of like common language.
Okay.
Because my main motive to watch an English series was to improve my language, because I felt my standard of language is getting down, so I need to improve it. So I used to watch a corporate kind of series known as Suits, in which they use the respectful kind of language and the proper professional language. So even I watched it to the advantage of an exam rather than watching it for the purpose of watching it.
Okay, right. So they had a goal. Of course, guys, we are not promoting Netflix here. We don't get any money from Netflix for watching these shows, but this is a strategy they formed, and it worked for them. It could have worked for you, but don't overdo it. You watch just one show per day, and that's it. And apart from that, you do play games, because we used to say don't play games, but you play games. And I respect that, because you play what game?
Yeah, I play games because not the commonly played games like PUBG.
You don't play PUBG games.
No, PUBG.
Thank you. I thought you're going to talk about PUBG and you want the students to play PUBG. Don't do that.
PUBG, because they are consuming a lot of time. There will be competitions among them. It will consume a lot of time. I play the games which are helpful for my exams.
Can you give an example?
For example, I play. There's an app called Mathstrix. It helps us in improving the speed in maths, because they give us 20 seconds in order to solve a problem, and within 20 seconds, within our mind, we are solving the problems. And if we solve a problem within 20 seconds, next question arrives. So we are building a competition within ourselves. That helps us in improving. It helps us in familiarizing with the numbers, multiplication, percentage, everything. I familiarize with the help of that app. And then I play Sudoku. Sudoku really helps in order to solve puzzle. It helps in developing our brain cells. Actually, it helps in developing our brain cells. I read it from some source, and I actually started to play that game because I thought that it will help in improving my critical thinking, logical thinking. It really helps.
And what about you? Play the same Master?
Same. I used to play all these games. We like commonly used to play this. We used to compete in Matric and all. And along with that, there was another game known as Elevate, which was really useful in helping improve English skills.
Okay.
Elevate. It's a combined game in which it can help you improve your English as well as your cons and your reasoning abilities as well. So these type of games, like even if you take a phone, there won't be any other game. These are the common type of. Even a common person will consider as a weirdo.
Okay.
But that is what worked for us.
So when we say they watch series, they watch shows, and they play games, it means and that's done with the purpose of learning. So not for entertainment. Of course, there's entertainment part in that, but the way they handle these games or sitcoms, it helps them to achieve their goal. And on a serious note, like what about the strategy? Because you have a wonderful strategy when it comes to exams. And now the thing I love about the strategy, because which she's going to talk in length. The thing I love about their strategy is they started to think about the psychology of the one who took the question, the one who set the question, right? He might be having a psychology, and they started to play with his psychology, or the way because I think once we started to explore this thing,
See,
students may understand. So what's your approach?
yeah, taking out the psychology and all, that is like mainly applicable to mains exams. So in mains exam, it's like all questions are tough. So the main tendency is like prepare maximum you can and only attempt the type of questions in which we are familiar with.
Right.
So like for example, let's take a puzzle. There are different kinds of puzzle, and in every mains exam you might come up with something very new kind of puzzle. So everyone, what they try to do is they try to do a puzzle which they are very familiar with. So but as per like my thought process is like the familiar kind of puzzle will be hard because it is already familiar and nobody is going to make it easy for you. But what I thought is, okay, it's familiar, it might be hard, and new ones are generally easy.
Okay.
But I have no experience in solving the new one because I have never seen them before. But I know the thing would be easy. Only thing is like I have to think differently, and that is what worked for me. And in the exam, I was like easily able to solve a puzzle which was completely new for me.
So putting it in other words, like when they find something new or a new type, they start to attempt the kind of questions because they know that if something is a new type, it's going to be easy. And especially you, like how many questions you attempted in English? Because
I attempt almost every questions in English in every.
Or you like, I mean, are you very good in English or?
No, I'm not so good in English, but I'm an average student, I think. But not everyone is attempting English. We are taking a chance there. Actually, we are taking a chance there.
Pushing the limit there.
Pushing the limit. Everyone have some weakness. I cover the weakness by preparing more in English. English is easy to score, easy to lose marks also.
Yes, of course.
But I daily I don't like to read newspapers, but I need to improve my English. So I bought magazines. Divide the total pages by 7 and read. If I like it or not, I will read the pages that are allotted for that one day, so that I am familiarizing with the way in which the sentences are used, that framed. I don't know any kind of laws that are involved in English language. I'm not applying any law to solve the error correction questions or grammar questions. I am familiarizing with it by hearing. That's why I watch TV series and all. I got totally familiarized. I made English look like easy.
Okay.
By reading magazines, by watching sitcoms and all. And I attempt all the questions, which is taking a chance there.
The popular opinion was to attempt 20 questions, right?
That happens.
Right.
Not everyone is suggesting to
attempt 20 questions. You
attend 30 questions, but
you cracked.
Yeah, I attempt 30 questions. So taking a chance, most probably we will get marks between 20 to 25. With taking a chance, but by attending 20 questions, we get maximum of 20 marks.
Right.
By attending 30 questions, we have a probability of getting marks between 20 to 25. That's an advantage. But I prepare English well in order to reduce the mistakes. I will definitely commit mistakes, but to reduce mistake, I prepare well by reading newspapers and by reading magazines.
And fine, coming back to you. Like, so who did you call first, or who called you first when it comes to the results?
Okay, there's one interesting incident about the mains SBI mains result. It was around 12:30, 1 o'clock, which results were published.
Night 1 o'clock.
At night.
Okay.
So I was sleeping. Well, like I was not up. I was really tense because I used to ask him and all other my friends. Still today, results didn't come. Why is it not come? So I was really tense. And at night after 12:30, I'm receiving a call. When it was ringing, I was sleeping, and when I woke up from sleep and saw his name, I was shocked.
You called at 1 o'clock.
He called me. GV called me around 1 o'clock in the night. So I was almost sure it must be the results, or else there is no other reason why he should call me. So I took the phone and he said result came, and I said I know result came. That's why you're calling me. Right. And I asked about him what happened. He said he cleared. Okay, I was feeling half relaxed. And the next thing is about me, what I cleared or not. And he told okay, a link and all. I was going to search, but I was not able because I was in highly tense state. Then he said okay, you don't search, give me the number and all. Then he searched and he said you clear. That was really satisfying and happy moment. At that very moment, it's like we talked for almost half an hour maybe.
Yeah.
Right.
Half an hour. Then
Like
like
1
we
o'clock.
were expressing our joy at that moment.
Right, got it.
We don't know what to do, and like, and then after
Yeah,
that,
because it was our first prelims we are clearing, the first mains we are clearing. First, that kind of
Okay.
excitement.
Exactly. Okay. So what happened then?
then after that, he kept the phone. I directly went to my mom. My mother was sleeping. I disturbed her. She was not happy with it. Definitely disturbing a person at that time of moment. But I disturbed her. I told her, okay, I so and so I have cleared my exam. She was really happy. She thanked God, and like everything, the situation in the mood in the house was completely a jovial one.
Great.
Okay, rather than the tense situation which was there for days,
Okay.
it became a happy time.
So we want each and every student to experience that feel, because it's very rare to hear that kind of news. Okay, you won, you cleared, everything is going to be okay from here after that. That's the what to say. That's one of the feel we get once you start to clear. You will get that. Everyone we are going to get that. Fine. So final tips from both of you. Suppose if the viewers are watching, let's say your sister or brother is started to prepare from today, what would be your advice? So if you do these things, there's a chance that you may clear in 3-4 months. So what would be that?
Okay, the first thing that I would say, the main thing is like one who's going to prepare, is going to start, he would have one fear about the competition. There are people who are preparing for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. There are cases, and they are doing for these many years. Like, how could I do? I have to spend these many years again. The thing is, those who are preparing for this long aren't really preparing. If they are preparing, they would have cleared it.
Oh.
It's only a matter of 6 months, maximum a year. You could study it and apply it. Study usually takes maximum of 2 months. Just get the basics covered, get the knowledge. Then it's all about practice. Practice more. You may first time when you give a test, your marks might be really low. That doesn't matter. Next day you give, there might not be improvement, but day on day repeat the same thing. See, repeating same thing day in and day out is what gives us a greater result.
Persistence.
You need to be persistent. You need to like never. Need to have an attitude. Never give up. If you even if you get a problem, you are looking at it. You spend say an hour. You're not getting it. Throw it or something. Check up in the Google. Never do that. You try to solve it. When you solve it, the amount of satisfaction and fulfillment, that is which gives you a real moral boost to you. That's what helps in cracking. So first clear your base, study the subject, and be persistent. It's like you need to really dedicate yourself for this. At that time you can't like be going for movies, hang out with friends, go and play out. So it's like complete dedication is what is required to crack an exam, and I think 6 months of time would be more than enough to crack your first exam.
And I forgot to mention, and most of us, let's say when we face a question, if we couldn't solve in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, we would give up and start to see the explanation. We would search in Google, we would search some video, something like that. But he's the kind of guy, even though if it takes 1 hour, 1.5 hours, he would sit, fight with the sum, and make sure that he gets the answer correct. And that's a kind of he sees each question as a challenge in front of him, and he likes to solve that. Because most of us, what we do, when we see a tougher question, we would see 3-4 minutes, we'll try it, then see the explanation. Oh, okay, you're supposed to solve this. Okay, something like that. He's not that kind of guy. He would say it, and you mentioned that some question took you 1.5 hours.
One hour I was solving a puzzle, and it was really a difficult puzzle, and
it took you 1 hour to solve a particular question. And
1 hour, more than an hour, because when normally usually a person gives up on it.
Yes.
Check the answer. First impression the person would have is a question wrong. Because there is something wrong with the question. So it's like you need to be persistent. Unless you are persistent, if you are practicing with a light mind, you won't. You need to have that strong desire. You should have that inner motivation and a strong desire. Then I wouldn't say even 6 months, 3 months you are done through. Hard work. Even if I say about my practice, it's like SBI PO notification came. That's the day I started my real practice. That's the day. From that day, I was real serious, dead serious. I didn't do anything else. and in 50 days came the prelims exam. I was able to do it. So it's like how much you dedicated to yourself. It's not the amount of time, it's the quality
Yes.
of time you are spending.
Great. So, similar question to you as well. So, if your sister or brothers who are watching this channel, like, what would be your suggestion for them? Like,
First of all, we need to clear our basics.
basics.
We need to have a strong base in order to build something over there. Because so we need to prepare for our basics very well. In case of maths, I familiarize with my numbers by using the matchstick apps. For reasoning, I'm for the first two exams, I'm not attending puzzles. I am not clearing any prelims. I was the cutoff will be 56. I will be getting around 50 marks. Then I realized puzzles is one important thing. So I prepare for puzzles. I improve my logical thinking by playing games like Sudoku and all. And I prepare for English. I know English was the deciding factor there. I was weak in reasoning. I'm, I may not be able to clear all the puzzles, but the other people out there will be clearing all the puzzles and they will be getting maximum marks in reasoning. So their weak spot was English. So I make it my strong spot. So by preparing for English, even I like it or not, I read things. I familiarize with financial matters and all. I am a BTech student. I am not familiarized with financial things and all. So even if I don't know, I read them regularly in order to familiarize with it. That way, I made my base clear. And after that, it's all about practice.
So, how many mock tests do you write before the exams, like in a day?
How many mock tests?
Typically,
I do 2 mock tests. The most important thing is not doing the mock test. It's about analyzing the mock test. We need to analyze every questions. There will be solutions, but we need to find the better way to reach that solution in an easy manner. Not solving that questions in the typical conventional manner is not. It's not the way we need to approach the question. In 1 hour, we need to attend 100 questions. So we need to have a strategy. We need to plan. If we see this kind of question, we need to have an easy way to solve that question. So finding ways to solve the questions easily. That's what analyzing is all about. We need to analyze. It's not about the number of mock tests we are attending. It's all about analyzing. If we are spending this time, we must spend quality time for analyzing the mock test.
So how many mock tests you write in a day?
Like initial days of practice, it was 1. And gradually after a few days, I increased it to 2. Then up to 3 mock tests, like I have made it. Then 3 mock tests in the last 1 week, even 4 tests I have done. So I would say mock test is one of the key because it helps in creating a strategy. Because doing mock test makes clear, oh, this must be my strategy, or this should be strategy. Or sometimes you have made up a strategy and attending mock test, then you will understand my strategy won't work and how to change the strategy while doing an exam. That
so it's like on the way you change your strategy as well.
Yes,
right?
you need to change. Sometimes the condition might not be favorable. The condition, we were expecting this kind of question paper, and question paper is completely different. You have no other option. Rather, you have the option to sticking on to your strategy and not working out, or rather plan a strategy instantly which works. So I think planning a strategy which works instantly would be a better option rather than sticking on to strategy which is a risky one.
Right.
Actually, and I also need to mention one thing. We need to prepare the mock test or attend the mock test not only when we are comfortable. For example, in the morning time, we are totally comfortable with it. So we attend a mock test. In the exam, in the deciding factor is the presence of mind during our exam time. If we are attending our exams during the noon shift or the afternoon shift, it will be very different from that of the morning shift. During the morning shift, we will be totally fresh.
Yes.
So we need to practice. I keep that in mind. So I practice the mock test when I am sleepy.
Great.
So I practice my mind. Even if I am sleepy, I need to put my maximum effort. I need to perform in the maximum limit that I can perform. During I am sleepy, during the noon time, by switching off the fan, I practiced. Because what if during the exam time I was a bit late? I need, but I learned it from my failures.
Okay.
Failures are part of life. From failures, we
learn. Excellent. So, then just like you, we learned a lot from these brilliant guys. Of course, their plan or the way they strategize could be a bit off, but everything they did had a purpose. And I love the way they said, like, there is no strategy. Of course, you can have strategy, but in exam there will be totally different strategy. And just remember this: whenever you skip the question in the exam, like you think this question are tough, that question they will be attending these questions. So just think these are your competitors, and thank you for sharing this information so generous. You shared your opinion, views, and hope this interview would inspire the viewers to clear the exam. So you broke a lot of myths here. I would really say you guys are mythbusters. Like you say, you watch Netflix, you play games, and you write all the questions in English. So great. And especially, like, I really loved your approach. Like you start to write tests in the afternoon because you are just pushing yourself. You are just simulating.
Yes.
You're switching off the fan, writing tests, and you're pressurizing yourself.
It's
Coming
all
late.
about the presence of mind.
Excellent. So, and thanks for joining. And guys, see you in another video. Bye.